I mean, what about it? It's fun. It's great. It's good. Um, yeah, I'm into it. I don't know what you want me to say about sex. Um, I mean, I'm not a teenager anymore, so I think my views on sex are a little different than they used to be when I was, 16, 17 years old. But sex is a great thing. You know what it is? It's free. And I'm into free.
Sex.
Interesting. Love it. It's great fun.
It's also really complicated. It's really loaded.
That one too?
It's
Just
something,
like marriage?
Well, yeah. I mean, at least for me, it's amazing to be able to experience that in so many different levels. Like you experience that as an adolescent, as a young adult, and they evolve from like just something that's like, oh yeah, cool, I did this and it's awesome, and then to, oh yeah, I totally had sex with her, to, oh, I really like having sex with her, I think I want to keep on having sex with her, to, I want to love her and marry her and be with her for the rest of my life. And then on top of that, if you have kids someday down the future, the way you look at sex once you have kids is completely different, because you look at them first as, your own part of you, this innocent creature, but then you realize little by little they're going to go through these emotions too, so that it makes sex a lot more complicated than all those physical things you thought along your whole life.
So it goes from sheer physicality to more intellectual consideration.
Well, that's one aspect of it. I mean, obviously there's probably a shit ton more aspects to it, but
I think if you think about the thing about sex is that if you think about it way too much, which I have a tendency of doing, it doesn't help anything to happen. Like, you have to just enjoy it for its carnal pleasures and its visual pleasures and everything. And you'll be fine. Like, if you get too much thinking about like, oh, what am I doing? Should I be doing this? Like, is he having a good time? Whatever. Should I be doing? What do I look like? Just stop doing all of that, and smooth sailing, be fine. So.
Yeah, agreed.
There's so many different ways to I was gonna say there's so many different ways to have sex, and that would be like, you might be thinking they're talking about like different positions, and that's not what I mean. It's like, so funny that it's this act that can be so many different things. Like, it can have so much meaning, it can have no meaning, it can be physical, it can be like this communion. There's so many different ways to do it, I guess.
Sex is a wonderful thing, and I firmly believe that if everyone had more sex, the world would be a happier place. It's a very complicated subject, because no matter how we slice it, there is a degree of taboo, and we all bring baggage with it, which makes it difficult, I think, sometimes to really just be able to let go and appreciate it. We have pressures on the way that we look. I know people are often preoccupied with how they look when they're having sex, the positions they're in and the ways that they may or may not engage in it. The ability to really let go and be uninhibited about sex, though, is how I've found it's the best.
Sex, huh? Okay, sex. Alright. So you're just gonna use the words that I pretty much, alright, fine. Sex. It's funny, I posed this word to a number of people, which you'll see, and I've been entertained by everyone's thoughts on it. My thoughts on sex is, man, it's incredibly addictive. I don't know something that my body and mind and emotions yearns for more than sex. It is the constant addictive drug in my life. I mean, I love it. I love sex. That level of sex is interesting. It's I know people say, oh, friends with benefits doesn't work. It doesn't last. I won't say it doesn't work. I've experienced it. It works. it just doesn't last. You know, someone's going to find what they're looking for if they're looking, or it's not a sustainable. It's not a sustainable. It's probably what, 6 months, maybe a year, depending on you and that person and how well you communicate. Sex is also that. So that's one category. That's one category of sex that I've experienced, and it's so awesome. It's like, and I don't know how this is gonna sound. It's like the truthfulness you have with your closest friends, so like your boys or your girls. But you can be intimate with them. So take that dialogue that you have with your friends, but you can be intimate with them. It's so real and so honest. But then there's, the one that I hope for, the one that I've also experienced once in my life. And, when sex is an expression of showing someone how much you love them and how much they mean to you, and that, this is the expression that you want to share with them, and that bond, that unity. Oh, man, it's like getting a gift on Thanksgiving. You got your comfort food and all this beautiful food, and you're thankful for all these things, and then you still get a present? What? Did you just combine Christmas and Thanksgiving? I guess that would be how I would describe making love.